how these games are played. We don't know much about this. Briefly, how these games are played.
Really good question. In fact, if we've been to so many press launches about games in the world, and Indian press, we still want them to, that's why we're happy to give you all the information. So games are played on multiple platforms right now. So this team right now is playing PUBG Mobile on mobile phones. You have games that are played on PC, on console, and mobile phones for the most part. So, and yeah, they have different gear that they use and they play. And essentially what happens with the esports team is they play online with other players. Like for example, for the qualifiers that they qualified for Milan. This is one of the, these are one of the first few teams in India that is representing India to go to Milan and play in the World Championship. They played across over 500 teams in India and came, one of the top three. So, yeah. Oh wow. I think over 10,000 plus teams right now in India. Yeah.
Is there a number of restriction? Restriction on the number of players and how the game is structured?
Number of players in the country?
Yeah, in a team. Is there any restriction on number of players?
Every match that they play, for example, for PUBG Mobile, they are essentially a team of 4. So 4 of them play, the game in the main tournaments and championships.
The other thing is, you were saying about $1 billion worth of the segment now. So how big is it in India? Can you give some sense of?
Yeah, so India, it is. I don't have the actual numbers. I'll be misquoting if I quote it right now, but it's fairly smaller in terms of comparison right now, but it's picking up. PUBG Mobile is right now played by everyone. So I could be misquoting. So, but it's not a big percentage. What's the percentage?
How do you select the team? You can just start from there.
I think it would be again. This is my guess. It could be less than 10% for India.
How do you select the team?
How do we select the team? Good question. So Bharat, who's our team coach and our team manager. So we had partnered with him early on, and we started talking to some of the teams in India. We essentially have an entire selection criteria. We look at their stats, as you saw some of their stats, on the screen. We talk to different people. It's essentially trying to find out who's trending, who's really can represent India on an international stage, and after a lot of due diligence, we found this team to be the best.
Madam, you are from which place? From US?
So I live in San Francisco, but I grew up here in Hyderabad.
I keep visiting San Francisco, so we hope to meet you.
I live in the San Francisco Bay Area.
You are from which place?
From San Francisco.
Okay. So in San Francisco, Rangan, you know that the cricket teams are being, associations are being formed by Indian, one of the top players, Kiran Morinol. They all are coming there. So why don't you encash about that, being in touch with them? Because they are going to make it international level.
The Indian teams in the US?
Yeah, in US, they are forming association in every state. And people are going from India to give them all the facilities about the ground and also coaching and selection. So it's going to happen in next year. So why don't you encash? Because it's a very good opportunity.
Our focus is on esports. It's not on cricket, it's not on football, it's not on any of the traditional sports right now. Esports is essentially a digital sport, right? Like essentially people who are playing games online is essentially where our focus is right now. And honestly, we want to focus on India. That's why we're here.
Yeah, but we can encash about advertisements or anything through this game of cricket.
Yeah, we'll definitely look at it.
You can, your products can be very popular.
Yeah, we'll definitely encash on it. Good suggestion.
Can you give some financials of the team? How much you are investing in esports in India?
We can't actually talk about the investment itself in terms of how much money we've put into the team. It's very confidential right now. We might release in the public domain in terms of our investment plans for esports in the next few months or in a year. And when we have that, we'll share it over with you. But we did make a pretty good investment. I would say, I'm sorry I'm not able to give you numbers, but if you compare other teams that have invested in players, I think we've invested, we're one of the top people who've invested way more than all of them.
But globally, how much this company invests in esports?
Globally, I'm sorry, what?
Globally. So this company is into esports globally.
Yeah, so-
Other countries also. How much they are investing?
So our company, first of all, I just want to clarify, we wanted to start, we're a service-based company where we provide different services to a lot of gaming companies and a lot of product companies. Okay, we do like game production, we do localization, testing. So we work with some of the top 20 gaming companies in the world and we do all of these services. We stepped into esports for the first time. And this is our first team. And the first team all over the world, we wanted to choose it out of India.
Why did you choose India to launch your system?
Because we feel India is going to be the next biggest, gaming market in the world. We feel that India will take over some of the other major markets in the world, and we feel that, we've got the people, we've got, the audience out here.
It's also a matter of giving back to our team here. So we've been in business in India for 10 years, in Hyderabad for 3. In October will be for 3 years. And we have 850 employees here in India. And we see this not only as a big opportunity to invest in video games, invest in esports in India itself, but also to give back to our teams, because let me tell you, working for a company that has, an award-winning esports team that will hopefully win in Milan, it's great for employees. It's great for employee satisfaction and engagement. So, yeah.
Do you have any other operations in
Yeah. We have an office in Hyatt City, and we have an operations in Bangalore. So we have 2 big operations. We have
Hyderabad is 250. Bangalore we have 600, Hyderabad we have 250, so we have 850 here in India.
Excuse me. There is so much criticism about PUBG and so many controversies are there. So how can you handle these controversies by promoting this team?
Which controversy are you talking about?
PUBG is a very dangerous game like that. So many places there are banned with art. So how can you promote this team and this game? Because this is people's mindset is there. PUBG is very dangerous. That is the psychic. So
right. So I'll first 2 things I want to cover: the stigma of gaming and esports. Right. Like it's a very, I think it comes with our, growing up in India. I used to be a gamer since I was 6 years old. I've never harmed anyone. I'm sure a lot of our gamers, they're very nice people. They're very good people. They don't do any bad things. They're all kids. As kids, we all like to play video games at home. It is like an escape from reality. It's very therapeutic. It's actually a very good thing. Adults like to watch TV, just like that. Kids like to play video games. It is not a dangerous sport. There is no. Our thing is, rugby is a dangerous sport. Cricket. People have died. When the ball hits. I mean, you know about the number of deaths. So I think it's more of a perception. If you look at even the worldwide audience, esports is viewed. Video games are viewed as, something that today's day and age, kids like to play, like to immerse in a different world. I can tell you, even in terms of like quick thinking, and even in terms of just getting your mindset, to be very quick, very smart, it really helps. So I personally, and even representing the company, we're doing this so that we can eliminate that stigma and say that it's just a game. They're having fun. They like to win. It's like any other sport in the world.
Guys, couple questions from here. Hi, from AFK Gaming here. We're also correspondents for the Esports Observer. Couple of questions. First of all, is this a marketing activity? Is Orange Rock Esports a marketing vehicle for PTW? Or do you see this as a revenue-generating business for your company?
Really good question. You want me to answer it? Okay. There's nothing like a marketing activity, first of all. And for us, we view Orange Rock, we're all gamers at heart, okay? And we just want to make sure that, as I said, our goal is to take India global and to, try to make that investment. With the investment, there's going to be a risk, right? I mean, and there is going to be, accountability of, can we sustain in the long term? We got to make some profit out of it so that we can have more teams, we can sustain in the long term. But we want to view it as like any other global, team out there. Whether you take G2E, Team Liquid, Cloud9, they're all the same strategy is what we want to follow. It's not any specific marketing activity that's really going to help us, in that sense. We really want to focus hardcore into esports.
Got it. Looks like we're finally speaking the right language over here, guys. Next question. Why PUBG Mobile, and are you considering any other game titles?
Oh man, really, really good. Sure, okay. A really good question. For us, we started with PUBG Mobile, in all honesty, because the viewership in India right now is craving PUBG Mobile. From any person that you talk to, everyone plays PUBG Mobile, it's more relatable. When you look at esports with any market, the more number of players playing the game, the better the competition is, the better the players are, and the better you can perform on a world stage, right? So we were looking at, okay, we wanted to first create an international brand that is representing India. We don't want to be cheap, we don't want to be like, we've seen a lot of other, companies kind of handle players and people differently, and we don't want to be that company, and we want to give them the best that we can. And when we chose PUBG Mobile, it was just that it's the most played game right now in India, so we should go with that, and we should look at the best teams. We're also looking into Counter-Strike, we're looking into Dota, we're looking into top streamers, we're looking into a lot of other things which we can't disclose right now. But whatever will help empower gamers to represent our country and represent Orange Rock and PTW is what we'll be focusing on long term.
Got it. I understand that you can't disclose more about this next question, but why did you choose to do teams instead of, let's say, tournament organizing or content or something else in the esports ecosystem?
So we saw a lot of different organizers of tournaments, and we're also in the business of producing video games and stuff. So we wanted to have a team. We wanted to have teams mainly because we felt that that's where our passion is more than hosting.
Yeah, we've been in the video game industry for a quarter of a century on the ground level. Where gamers are hard, we play games. Yeah, we can organize tournaments. There's a lot of different things we could do, but at the heart of it, we're players, right? So, and to your question of whether this is a marketing activity or we're really in it to win it, I don't know, team, what do you think? Is it a marketing activity or are we gonna win? Hope I answered your question.
Perfect. Shanak, do you have some questions?
Yeah. So I want to know, so globally, all the esports organizations, they kind of have an image or a brand. Like, for example, there's Cloud9, there's someone like 100 Thieves who stand for they're more of a lifestyle brand than a pure gaming brand. So, where did you come up with the name Orange Rock, and what does it signify, and what are you hoping to turn the brand into?
I'll answer that question in about 6 weeks.
Okay.
There's definitely something beyond what you see here today in terms of Orange Rock and the Orange Rock brand. Our original plans had been to announce that first, but they're going to Milan, so, here we are.
Okay, and I had another question, which is, so what are the resources you are currently providing to your players, and how are they using it to the best of their abilities?
You should definitely have a chat with them afterwards, and you can totally be free. We're very open as a company. The resources we're providing is, you tell us what you want, we'll get it for you. We'll get you that and more. I'll give you a classic example. Carrie said he wanted to stream, he streams, and he said he wanted 1 camera. I said, let's get 5, they said they want a boot camp. I said, let's pick the best boot camp that we can think of, in terms of the place and stuff. So I want them to feel that they're an international team, because they are. And so we try to provide whatever best we can. We've got budgets allocated for several things. Sometimes we've exceeded it, but for us the focus is really trying to be that international team, and representing our country.
I guess that's it from my side.
So how you get, hello? how you engage with these people? Because is any contract basis or only for tournament, or you engage them for 2 or 3 years?
So the team is essentially, they're employees of our company, and everyone, including the manager. And we have contractual terms engaged with them. We can't disclose into how long the contract, what we pay them, and all that. That's very confidential to us. But yeah. Sorry, any other question you had?
No, just welcome to Indian Esports, guys.
Yeah, thank you. All right, any other further questions from anyone? Great. Okay, thank you. We'll be, please take your time, have some lunch, and we'll be around, and any questions you may have, we're more than happy to talk to you. Okay, thank you.